but first, the amazing turnaround for Ted Williams. As we said, we'll talk to him about his rough life, his golden moment thanks to his golden voice in just a moment. But first, NBC's Kevin Tibbles has his story.
He was just another beggar by the highway, but his sign said, "I have a God-given gift of voice." So the reporter from the Columbus Dispatch took a chance.
Say something with that great radio voice.
When you're listening to nothing but the best of oldies, you're listening to Magic 98.9.
Within hours, that video went viral, way viral. Millions of hits on YouTube alone.
I shoot a lot of things, and nothing's quite stuck like this has.
His name is Ted Williams, 53, from Brooklyn. As a teen, he fell in love with broadcasting after a chance meeting with a local DJ.
He said to me, listen, radio is defined theater of mind.
But
alcohol and drugs and a few other things became a part of my life.
he says he's clean now, but spent the last decade on the streets.
The Dave and Jimmy Show every weekday morning.
Perfect, man.
From the side of the road to inside the studios of local radio, where many callers offered Williams employment, even a mortgage.
I just didn't know if anything like this would have happened.
The NBA's Cleveland Cavaliers offered him a job.
We loved his voice, we loved his story, and our biggest priority right now is just to get him in here.
But before Ted Williams did anything else, he paid the Today Show a visit first thing this morning and helped get our day started in the voice booth. Now that's a set of pipes. For today, Kevin Tibbles, NBC News.
Live from Studio 1A in Rockefeller Plaza.
Ted Williams, good morning, sir. How are you?
Sir.
It's great to have you.
It's great to be here. This is a dream come true, I'm telling you. Honestly.
It's that second chance.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you begin to even sum up what these last 48 hours or so have been like in your life?
Outrageous. It's just phenomenal. I mean, there's no way in the world that I could have ever imagined, Matt, that I would be. I mean, just have all of this, just all of a sudden just come into, this portion of my life.
You were panhandling 2 days ago, 3 days ago.
Yes.
On the streets of Columbus, Ohio.
Yes.
You're in New York City now, and you're on national television.
Isn't that something? I mean, I'm telling you.
It's got to be a little overwhelming, to process it even.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And you almost didn't make it here, right? You had problems at the airport.
Somehow the flight got delayed and everything, and then, God.
But didn't you need papers to even prove who
I
you were?
I had to get an ID. Oh,
right.
Okay, the ID situation. Yes, ma'am. We had to go all the way downtown and get a proof of residency. I had to go to a couple homeless shelters to get that filled out. And then I had to get a court injunction to, prove who I was, date of birth and all, because I didn't have any ID or nothing.
We had mentioned New York's your home, right?
Yes, Brooklyn, New York.
Brooklyn, New York.
Yes,
Your
right in the Bedford-Stuyvesant area. I was born and raised.
How long has it been since you've been here and been in contact with some family members?
1986 was the last time I actually set foot right here. I watched a ball come down. I took the mother of my two boys, and we came in, and this was the first time she had ever been here, and I was doing fairly well then. I was working in radio and all, but she'd never been here.
So what happened, Ed? Help us understand what happened. You say in '86 you were doing well, you're working in radio.
And in 1993, Miss Meredith.
That's okay.
Drugs and alcohol. I started snorting cocaine, and then I started smoking it, the crack and all of that, and then drinking. Alcohol has always been a part of my life because my parents used to travel down to St. Thomas, so I did have an alcohol problem at an early, but I was a functional alcoholic at that point, I thought, But
how bad did it get?
Yeah.
Pretty bad. I was drinking like a fifth a day, but I was working. I was doing well. I was really doing well. At least I thought, But
was it the drugs then that took you down?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
When did you lose your home? I mean, when did you end
in
up
'93? That's when the pits. My life just went to the pits. I was at the homeless shelters in Columbus, and then I was I was introduced to the program of recovery.
I noticed something in that video that we've all now seen so many times that was on the internet, and when the reporter for the Columbus Dispatch comes up to you and he starts asking you about your voice, despite your hard times, there is this civility to you, Ted. There is this kindness. There is this grace about you. Thank you, sir. God bless you. Where does that come from?
My mom has raised me that way, to always be polite. Treat people as you would want them to treat you. Do unto others as you would want them to do unto you. And that's the golden rule, as she always put it.
And you've mentioned your mom repeatedly in the past couple days.
I love my mom, and I here comes maybe some tears, but how I always used to pray to God. I'm telling you, religiously, say, Lord, please let my mom live to, see another year. Maybe this will be a year that somebody would, say, hey, man, do you want a job or anything? But and I always used to say, God, you never seen fit to take my voice, in spite of all the flames and everything that went down my throat. The voice still maintained some type of resonance, and so when I got out there with the sign, it gave me a chance to, the public passing, good morning, thank you, and people would roll their windows down. Then it became a situation where the same people that would give me money, they would just come by just to see if I was still there, so that they could hear me say, listen to more of the best music, and I started using local talents.
So your mom has lived long enough to see what is going to be, we hope, redemption. And I hope you understand what I say. Meredith and I were talking before the show, and we both worry a little that a lot is happening very quickly.
Yes.
And some people might find that hard to deal with. And so are you emotionally ready to accept this second chance, to do the right things with this second chance?
This time around, Matt, I have a God. A God of my understanding in my life, and acknowledging him on the daily basis, which I've been doing this past year, because I was ready to mark 2010 as another year wasted, until I realized that in 2010 I found a new sense of spirituality. Now, I'm not saying I've become this born again type person to where I'm going around, but I do want to say that the difference between my successes of years gone by, I didn't acknowledge the Lord or thank him for anything before, and I've had some great opportunities of emceeing various venues and having a great time with all the perks that radio had, but I never not once said, oh Lord, thank you for this, or thank you for another day, or forgive me for this or that. But this time around, I'm acknowledging him in all my ways.
So you think you can make it?
Yes, sir.
I think we'd be remiss if we didn't ask you about reports that beyond the drugs and the alcohol, there were run-ins with the law.
Yes.
Can you tell us about that? We heard about robbery and forgery.
Yes. Well, the robberies and all have been broken down and anything. I've never stuck any, no violent crimes at all. It was all thefts and fraud type things, and that was just to afford the drug habits and so forth. But I ended up... the judges have been lenient, because it was like, okay, let's do this to him. And, I never got anything of any serious time or anything, but I did go behind, fences with barbed wire and so forth.
Have you had a chance, Ted, to stop and think about some of what's being offered to you right now? I mean, people want you to do voiceovers for them. The Cleveland Cavaliers have offered you a job.
Look at the smile.
NFL Films interested in talking to you.
They need some help right now. So.
They said that they're going to give me LeBron's old house.
How about baby steps, Ted?
Yes,
But have you had a chance to even think about what you would like to do?
They've been coming in so fast, but I do want to say that I did have one offer here in New York. The fine people at Kraft Macaroni and Cheese have offered me to be the official voice of their product. So when I leave here today, I'll be doing some voiceovers for the fine people of Kraft.
How would you pitch their product?
When you're looking for a cheesy product, a very delicious macaroni and cheese, choose Kraft. That kind of thing. But I do just want to say one more thing. That this is, man, meeting you two guys and the lovely Ann Curry and Al Roker and all that, man, I'm telling you, I watched the Today Show religiously ever since I was a kid, from Gene Shalit and Bryant Gumbel and Jane Pauley and all of that. And you guys have replaced those people the best.
Let me thank you for that.
Thank you, Ted.
I'm glad I got that opportunity to get that out of me, because...
Let me end with one question.
Yes, sir.
If we sit down with you, Ted, 5 years from today, what are you going to be doing?
Yeah.
Hopefully a program director somewhere, or I'll have my own apartment. I will say that, and my kids will have love for me. I'll say, hey, Meredith and Matt, the kids are over here and this, that, and I do want to say hello to my children in Columbus.
How many kids?
I have 7 girls and 2 boys.
7 girls and 2 boys. Wow.
Yes. And they're all adults. And I have grandchildren. And I want to say hi to, can I say hello?
Sure, go.
Mark Henderson, who was very instrumental in helping me with a place to live. And I want to say hi to Jimmy Cottrell, my girlfriend Katie. and my children, Julie, Janae, Trisha, Tangela, and Keisha, and my son Desmond and Tyrell, and my mom, wherever she's at, I miss her so much. I just want.
Sure, you'll get to see her.
Yes, ma'am.
You also have a greater appreciation for the homeless as well. If there's anything we need to understand, what would we?
Please don't judge a book by its cover. Everybody has their own little story, and the next time, if you're going to give to any homeless person, give from the heart and not give and then say, oh, I know they're not going to do nothing but use it for drugs and alcohol, because that's not always the case. And I want to say hi to Al Battle, who's handling, that gentleman standing right behind camera. He's the one that's handling all of the fielding all of the calls that's coming in, because like you said, Matt, they're coming in by the dozens, and I don't know which one to choose and which one's the right one, which one's bogus or anything. I'm just thankful to be here, and I'm taking it one step at a time.
Well, you should.
And it's the Today Show. I just got to take advantage of all of this.
Thanks, Ted, so much.
Thank you so much.
Good luck.
God
all
bless
right,
both
congratulations.
of you.
See you in 5 years, right?
Yes,
You're
ma'am.
the program director.
Yes, ma'am.
And we're working for you.
No, God.
Remember us.
Yes, I will.
Okay.
Yes, I will.
Just say, let's get a check of the weather from Al now. Go ahead.
And now it's time to get a check at the weather with Al.
I want him to do the Sunday Night Football Night in America.
Thank you
yes.
so much.
Let's hear it for Ted Williams,
thank
ladies
you.
and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Oh, what a great story.